Mr. President, may I ask you about inflation? It's weird that you're not even blinking. Blink once if I can ask you about inflation. Strong communicator. I like that. Okay, inflation is at a 40-year high.
Pretty good shape, huh?
No, actually, inflation is like golf. A high score is bad. As a result, many Americans are struggling to put food on the table for their families. They're scared. Inflation is at 8.3%.
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch.
Inflation is measured in percentage points, not inches. Inches are used more for measuring distance. Do you think it's good news that you're not even aware how inflation is measured?
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before.
Those are the same number.
We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked. It is just barely, it's been basically even.
I like how now you're using your hands to measure inflation. It seems more exact, and I think it adds more credibility to your answer. Now, because it's a major concern for many Americans.
Stopping it there and welcome to Mika Reaction Reviews, your reaction review to things on the internet. And today we are returning with Awaken with JP. It's been a minute and now he's doing this parody interview with Joe Biden using an actual interview of Joe Biden. The whole inflation conversation, I actually saw that, and the fact that he was trying to make a point like, oh, I mean, it is really bad, but it hasn't gotten worse, you know, in a short period of time. You know, it's slowly getting worse instead. It really made no sense, and I don't think it made any of the average working class citizens feel any better about inflation. I don't know if JP has inspired another person to do the same thing, or he was inspired by another person, because there's another clip that is our ex-president interviewing Joe Biden, and it's actually quite funny, and I will also be reacting to that as well. You can find it on Twitter. So I don't know who inspired who, or if this is just, you know, any, you know, comic genius who's kind of in a political space is doing the same thing. I'm not really sure, but I like this sort of type of satire because we're used to his sort of news thing or his little sketches, but using the actual words of Joe Biden and him reworking the questions, I think is really clever. But anyway, we're gonna get right back into it. But before you do, if you like type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal me link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below. And if you like, you can super thanks. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. All right, here we go.
I'd like to ask you, is the border secure?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But for the record, blink once if we're still not allowed to be honest about that. Got it. Now in our country, some dangerous extremists have said you lack the mental focus for the job of president. They've even used the term dementia. Now, we know their claims are nothing but misinformation based on racism because they're white and you're white. But just humoring them for a moment, if you were to do a bit of a role play, or an impression, if you will, of a man who does have dementia, and you were responding to their unsubstantiated claims of mental decline, how would that sound?
I haven't, look, I have trouble even mentioning, even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
Well, that's pretty good. The incomplete sentences and how each one conveys no complete thought or information, yet each sentence tries to build on the previous incomplete sentence. I'd say it takes a lot of mental focus to put together an impression that good.
Okay, that was a really well done breakdown of Joe Biden's incoherent rambling. And if you didn't watch the actual interview, that response was to the interviewing saying, you know, you're one of the oldest presidents we've ever had. And that was his response. Anyway, let's continue.
At times when you're leaving the stage after a speech, most of the time actually, you seem confused as to where to go and what's happening. And in those moments when it finally occurs to you again, oh, I'm the president, what goes through your mind?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible. And it's just totally irresponsible.
That's also what goes through the minds of most Americans in those moments. Now, Mr. President, if you theoretically wanted to start World War III, principally between the US and China, how would you answer the following question? If China were to invade Taiwan, would the US defend Taiwan?
Yes.
Yeah, that would probably do it. Let's just hope no one ever asks you that and you say that for real. Do you still have voluntary bowel control?
No.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. And it makes me curious, if you're ever warned when someone's going to be taking you out of the house, do you ever try to go poopy on the toilet ahead of time?
No, not ahead of time.
Fair enough. In your daughter Ashley's diary that she wrote, she indicates that you showered with her at inappropriate ages. And she goes on to say that she thinks she may have been sexualized by you. What's your response to the naysayers who think you shouldn't have sexualized your own daughter?
Watch me.
And in those moments when you were looking at her nude body in a way that she says made her feel uncomfortable, what did you say to your daughter?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's happening.
Very comforting fatherly words, if I may say so. And did you sniff her?
Yes.
I'm so glad that the reporter of JP brought up Ashley Biden's diary that the media has completely and utterly just ignored. Not only do we have a president that allegedly has some sort of mental decline, maybe dementia, but also has a daughter who wrote a book saying that she was diddled by our president. Pedo, whatever, and Hunter Biden's phone that was supposed to represent his father and sort of caller ID, and the fact that he has this horrible drug addiction now, which is a horrible side effect that a lot of people who have been abused as kids turn to as adults. Allegedly. Just saying. And that's our president. Anyway, let's continue.
Some people speculate that you may have done the old weaponize the FBI routine and used them to confiscate Epstein's little black book. Mr. President, do you know where Epstein's client list is?
I got that.
You do? Well, will you be turning it over to law enforcement so justice can be served?
No.
Oh, good. I can see how it's better this way. But what would you say to someone who has another copy of Epstein's client list and was thinking about turning it over to law enforcement?
Don't.
That's good advice. Oh, and pro tip, probably don't let Hunter take a turn washing over that thing. Otherwise, the cleanup work on that could be a pretty heavy lift. Mr. President, in closing, you've sold your soul to corporate interests, pharmaceutical companies, and the deep state long ago. But what would you say to a young person who's thinking about acting on the same temptation?
Pain. And it's just so unnecessary. So wrong.
I think young people can learn a lot from that.
I mean, to be fair, like, he's not the only one who sold his soul to corporate interests and big pharma and lobbyists. That's most, if not all, career politicians. That's why we should have term limits. Probably will never happen, though. Unfortunately, for the rest of us. Anyway, let's continue.
And thank you for all this, Mr. President. This has been very enlightening from all the American people on the half of the country that you don't hate. We wish you well in what is sure to be a very strong re-election campaign. Do I need to drop you off anywhere?
Old age home.
I'll have him pull the car around.
Okay, guys, I think that was really well done. Satire, comedy, gotta say that for the YouTube gods. This wasn't an actual interview, so just FYI, but I think it was well done, satire, to get a point across how absurd that interview was and how softball those questions were thrown at him. But what else did you expect? Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below and links to all of the eternal platforms I'm on, my socials, including my Twitter. All the ways to support me and all the ways to contact me for business is always in the links down below. And if you like, you can super thanks. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle or I live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go to the description box below. Also in the comment section, hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and do follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually with most up to date, and I have all of my other YouTube channels. Links down below. Go subscribe, go support, and you guys have an amazing day. Bye.